If you really want to go to the Caribbean, there are a lot of schools there. I'll say pay a big attention to accreditation.
Yeah.
Like these things really play a very big role in it.
Okay, guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have a special guest in our midst. His name is
Olumayowa Bello.
So we have Mr. Bello. So basically today we are going to be talking about medical school in the Caribbean. Is it worth it? Like especially for African students. When did you first hear about medical school in the Caribbean? When did you actually thought? Okay.
I think like late 2012 after high school, yeah.
Okay. From an agency or something?
Yes, my brother had a friend who was into this agency thing. So they, tell you, oh, you have an opportunity of studying abroad. So they give you options of where you can, and even if you try to do your research, they tell you the country you're going to.
Yeah. So they're basically telling you what to do.
Exactly. You don't even have,
you don't have a say.
You don't have a say because they're older than you.
Yeah.
You haven't been out of the country.
Yeah. You're fresh from secondary school.
Fresh from high school, and you see an opportunity to tell your friends like,
hey, you're going to the jam.
The fact is, I'm going out of Nigeria. That's it.
Yeah,
so
yeah. And when you got to the Caribbean, what was your first impression?
To be sincere,
when I saw... you went to St. Vincent, right?
Yeah.
All Saints, or AUS?
So I started with American University. Yeah.
American University, yeah. AUS. So when you got to the airport, what was your first thought?
Okay, so
impressed, disappointed?
No, my journey was funny because online I checked everything like, okay, so all I saw was blue sea. So I'm like, okay, this is a nice island, fresh, all clean and everything. So my trip was nice because my flight was from Lagos, Nigeria to Amsterdam. Then from Amsterdam I went to Antigua. So when I went to Antigua, like, this is a Caribbean country, and what is going on here? Yeah. So like, anyway, it's not pretty bad. It's not like that bad because where we come from too. We have some. Maybe it's like a local airport.
So in Antigua, sorry to cut you short. Like you were still on transit, yeah?
Yeah, in Antigua, I was still on transit. So you
stopped for how long? I
was there with flight delays for about 4 hours, bro. But then when I got to St. Vincent, then I saw the plane landing. So I was thinking maybe there was still another chance to grab, but my flight said something else. And when I got there, bro, I can still remember it was E.T. Joshua Airport.
That was the former airport.
That's the former one before the new one they built, like the
So they have the Agay Airport now.
Yeah, the Agay.
So we are talking about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. For you guys that are wondering what are they talking about? So the old airport in St. Vincent, it's like, no disrespect to Vincentians watching, basically looks like a poultry.
No lies,
terrible.
No lies. And the thing was the service there, and the sad thing is I went during Ebola time.
Okay.
So they had to put me in quarantine for 21 days.
Really?
Yes, I literally wasn't. So I was delayed. So they have block exams called block 1, block 2, block 3 for schools, and I had already missed block 1.
Okay.
Then they told me I had to be in quarantine for 21 days. So I had to miss block 2 again.
Wow.
Then they were like, okay, you know what? I had to repeat the class.
That's basically the whole semester gone.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you about when I got to the airport. I was like, what's going on here? Then I actually started planning how I'm going to get out of the country immediately. Then they sent the school bus over to pick me up. We started going like through the bush. I was like, why is the airport so far away from the main city? Not knowing we've left the city already.
Yeah.
Then the driver told me, oh, that's your school over there. I said, which school? I said, your school, All Saints. Are you having a laugh? No, it was so disappointing. And we are not discouraging anyone going to the Caribbean. We're just saying it as it is. what when you got to register, were you able to register for the same semester, or you had to wait?
So I kind of got into it with the head of admin then. His name was Sham, I guess, but he's no more there, I guess. And he was like, oh, we have to do this, we can't do this. And so I was actually discouraged, but the main point was just me getting my degree, literally. So the dude was like, okay, you can go. I'm not like, so would I just stay home after the quarantine, pay house rent, and not achieve anything? So it was like, you can always just go attend classes. So I'm like, okay, I'll attend class and repeat it next block again. He was like, yeah, that's what I have to do, because I could. I'm like, okay, if that be it, that's fine. I mean, you know what you're up for. But then it's just a very big long story that, you know, once you look. And with the school though, I wouldn't really lie, you know, everyone is trying and stuff.
Yeah.
But at a point in time when you start living like the life, like, okay, this is reality right here.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is when you realize, like, okay, you can't be here. You just can't be here. Like, just like you now that you said from the airport, you're like, you know, you have to leave the country. People like me, I was just like, okay, this is nice, bro. Like, that's fine. I'm just here to get my medical.
I think the reason why I got discouraged immediately, because I was coming from Europe. I studied in Belarus.
Oh, okay.
So I left Belarus to St. Vincent. Like, it was a massive drop in terms of what I was kind of used to. And so, how did you registered and started classes? Were you impressed with the style of teaching?
I still love one of my teachers till now. His name is Wayne Young. So that was literally one of the best teachers that I knew. Our English teacher was also amazing. So it was new, you know, you having a teacher with a different accent, literally. So as at that point in time, the reality did not kick in. The reality was just like, I'm outside the country, I'm studying medicine. But we didn't know what we were actually facing. Then later we started getting acquainted with some higher people, like higher classes. And then you start seeing, like, these are the difficulties I have, and they tell you what you will face. And boom, within a twinkle of an eye, you started facing all those stuff already. And you're like, what's going on here? So
it was really, really difficult for me, like, to actually to acclimatize, to even make friends. Okay, so I had a friend, his name is Bolu, he's in the US here right now though. So he told me, man, you just have to get on with it. Just know you're here to study. You're not here for the facilities, the infrastructure and everything else. And did you feel cheated in this sense? Like, they promised, oh, when you come, you're going to end up in the US with clinical rotations and all that.
I cussed my agency out. I sure did.
I think that's the selling point, right?
Yeah, because what he was, so later I figured out that, because I'm very inquisitive with things sometimes, so I figured out, like, okay, how much do you pay people to bring people to this kind of environment, this kind of scenario to study something that has to do with life and big, you know, you promise them all these things without letting them know what's actual thing is. And I figured out it was just 200. So I'm like, okay,
200.
So we
200 what?
Just $200, bro.
Oh my days.
Just $200 was what this dude was, like, what someone told me though, that was probably what the school was gonna pay that.
That's commission from the university.
Yeah, maybe commission from the university.
So how much did you collect from you?
For me, it was more or less like, I'm helping you and scamming me. But the point was just like, you know, I'm moving out because, like, the route people take from Nigeria, some are like, they have to travel through Brazil, Ethiopia, and all the stuff. But I didn't do all of that because when I got to the airport, and they said I could not travel like that, even though my ticket said it was that.
Did you need any transit visa to travel?
Yes, I did because the airport official said I could not leave. So she was like, she would prefer me to just go and apply for a Schengen visa.
Okay.
So other people were like, even though they gave me the Ethiopia Brazil route, but it just didn't work out for me. So I had to wait like a week, and I processed my Schengen visa immediately, and luckily for me, I did let them know that, hey, this is what's going on, and they gave it to me. So that was how I was able to, land in Netherlands.
Okay. So moving to the next question now, which is, it shouldn't be all doom and gloom, right? There should be something positive about the Caribbean.
Yeah.
What positive thing can you actually point to in the Caribbean? I mean, studying in the Caribbean generally. What do you think? Or if you study in Caribbean, this is what you're going to benefit. That is not necessarily like achievable in other countries.
You get for that way, because me, I'm a big person when it comes to exposures and stuff.
Okay.
So I believe you can just be exposed to another lifestyle aside from where you come from.
Yeah.
And they will tell you, oh, this is how you have to study, this is how you have to study. And when you make friends, you get materials about, okay, watch this video, this is how you have to study, because you can't know everything. That's just it. But the positive thing about St. Vincent for me is more or less of the fact, just the recreation for me. I won't really like
it's fun.
That's just it. It's just the recreation. You get to go to beach every day, if possible, if you want it. And you get to go on boat cruise. I was making a joke one day with someone. I'm like, so my first time on a boat, then I was like, okay, at this point I can literally say I've traveled by all the means of transportation, by air, by land, by sea.
So what about academically? What do you think is good about studying there?
Academically is gain what you can just gain from the lecturer. That's it. That's what is just good there, because with my experience outside there, then you're like, so what did I really do there? So this is the selling point of Caribbean Medical School, right? They tell students, you are going to study, I think this is the structure, right? 1 year of pre-med, 2 years of medical. Mind you, it's not even 1 year. It's going to be it was 1 year when AUS said it.
Okay.
Then they changed it to having PM4, so it's 1 year and 4 months.
So 1 year and 4 months for PM. 2 years of MD.
Yeah,
right?
2 years of MD.
And about almost 2 years of clinical rotation.
Yeah,
1 year.
Let's just say so. Let's just say 2 years. So they promise you 5.
So in total is 5 years.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So that's all things being equal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this kind of structure, this is their selling point. They told students, or at least agents tell students, or the PR of their universities, we say, you have the opportunity to practice in the US. Do you think it's actually worth it?
No, it's not.
It's not true.
It's not.
Yeah. So this is a message for people out there that are being convinced to go to the Caribbean. You have to do your own research. But because we've been there, we actually know what we're talking about, at least to some extent.
And it's not like there's greed or anything when it comes to this, because like for me, if I'm to tell anyone that is, I have had people message me like, hey, you went to this school, do you think it's good? Do you think? I'll be like, for me, I'm not going to discourage you. If you really want to get out of the country and you see it as an avenue, that's on you. You have to face your own problems yourself. And they tell you, once you have the opportunity of practicing in the US. So the first question you should ask yourself is, why is the school not in the US?
Exactly.
So if you have the opportunity of practicing, why should it be outside the US? That's number one. And two, what are the things and what are the requirements of people who practice in the US have? And what is the Caribbean school offering you that is even somewhat close to
that. So how relatable it is. These agencies can go like extra mile to convince people to come over.
They do.
Like literally, they tell you even after your MD, you are surely going to the US for clinical rotation from there. They have 95. All medical schools in the Caribbean on their websites, I used to see 95% match rates.
Yes, that is what they literally tell you, like, oh, you have the 95. So what I'll tell people is, if you're doing your research and they say, oh, 95% match rate, it's social media world. Go on different social medias, look for people who, you know, probably attend these schools, message them privately, like, hey, do you know about someone taking USMLE, this, that.
So guys, please, if you have any question, drop it in the comments section
ask
below.
Questions.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop his Instagram handle. It will be on the screen right now. And also you can give him a follow, and also me too. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. Peace.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Do have a blessed day.